What happens to Coachella stays at Coachella.
Sometimes you bring something back with you. I'm still in recovery mode, I think, as you are. After 3 years, being in a concert like that with that kind of audience just reminds you why you go to Coachella in the first place. Watching a set with your friends, sometimes you're catching something on your own, and the entire atmosphere just doesn't seem real. You're in fantasy land, especially the way it's all curated. It feels like you're in the middle of paradise, just out in the desert. What did you think after 3 years?
I could definitely see the upgrades. So technology, like the camera work. There was a guy who was walking around.
I did see that.
And then you would see like 360, like, oh, that shot was sick.
He looked like Dr. Octopus with everything on him.
The top 3 sets of the weekend for you.
I mean, no pun intended. The Weeknd and Swedish House Mafia. To start, because they started off, 35 minutes after the fact? They were supposed to start at 10:20. And they come on close to 11.
Oh, yeah. Everything was delayed since Doja Cat. She was a little bit late, and then she went over her time 10, 15 minutes. And I mean, they had to set up that thing for Swedish House, which was insane.
Yeah, if you haven't already checked out that the setup by Swedish House Mafia and The Weeknd, I mean, they had something that looked like the One Ring to rule them all on stage, hovering over everything, it was great. It was a nice setup. And even though they started out late, they definitely finished the show strong. Most enjoyable performances because you got to hear, and it brought me back to music from high school, hearing Don't You Worry Child, Save the World, Greyhound one, then The Weeknd coming out about 35 minutes after that. They closed out that show together. So I think that's one of them. The second one would be, I think Grupo Firme was a lot of fun.
Grupo Firme on Friday. That show was hard.
Yeah, when we were there, we had a good time. We were right up against that gate on the left-hand side. The lighting fixtures were also a plus because they put the Mexican flag as the lighting. They put the green, the white, and the red.
On the banners, and they had flag. They have so many band members. I think that makes it cool, too, just having a bunch of people perform.
It all seems like a close-knit family and friends. Everyone's having a good time together, especially when they perform.
Yeah, they're all drinking and just taking shots like every other song. Everybody was just singing Los Tíos and Las Tías Salieron.
That photo that you posted was really good.
That should blow up on Twitter, bro.
It was vibing out. It was good. And I think the third one, that's tough. I would say, just as a personal choice, it was John Summit. Because when I went to go see John Summit, he's this up-and-coming tech house and deep house artist. And a lot of his songs are both very groovy and melodic. So when I went to go see him on Friday, his set really just blew me away because it was exactly what I wanted and expected. So those are my top 3. What about you? What were yours?
Grupo Firmes there, for sure. Like we talked about, it just... everything, the crowd, everybody was just hype. Los Tíos, it smelled like carne asada. So it was just good vibes.
It smelled like Al Pastor.
Speaking of smelling Al Pastor, bro, we went to the Do Lab on Sunday because we were super hot. We just needed to cool down with the mist. Bro, the people in there, they don't fucking shower or something. It smelled, bro.
Oh, at the Do Lab?
Disgusting, bro.
It was middle of the day?
Middle of the day on Sunday. These ones have not showered in 4 days, and they're just jumping around dancing. It was disgusting.
Yeah, some of them that camp there showering. That's optional. That's after this is done.
I saw this viral video of this lady. Have you seen it? It was when you forget deodorant at Coachella. And it was this girl. She's dancing to a song on the stream.
Right.
She's going like this, and then she smells her armpit, and then she puts her hands down. Bro.
Who the fuck's... Oh, shit.
No, the video. I'll send you the video after. That shit's hilarious. My favorite sets are, of course, Grupo Firme, Karol G, bro.
That was a really good set.
That was such a sick set, bro. Karol G, she really... I had good expectations, but she fucking blew me. It was 55 minutes of just banger after banger after banger. Boom, boom. Yeah, she just came out hot. Tiesto came out, popped up from the top, and he did 2 songs because he has a song with her.
Hit me with the boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
boom, boom.
Yeah,
that was a good track.
The whole crowd was just going crazy. I was in the center, kind of close to where the production is. Then she's like, you know what? All the Latino artists that have paved the way for me that couldn't make it to Coachella in the past, this is going to be a tribute to them. It's kind of how J Balvin did. Remember J Balvin did in 2019?
Unfortunately, I couldn't see that entire day of performances.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because
what happens at Coachella?
Some incident that happened.
We'll leave it at that.
But yeah, I'll take your word for it if that's what it was. I think you told me that J Balvin had also played old Daddy Yankee era style songs that were popping
Omar,
at the time.
He played Dale,
Don Dale.
Yeah, Gasoline and all these just classic reggaeton, the stuff that kind of broke into mainstream from back in the day.
That's pretty cool, paying homage to your roots.
Yeah, so Karol G did kind of the same thing. She's like, you know what, but not just reggaeton, just Latino artists.
You said Los del Rio, right? Macarena?
She played Macarena. She started with Selena, so she's like como la flor, and then like everyone was just like, oh shit, and then she played like maybe 30 seconds of every song, like that, Macarena, Despacito. She played Hips Don't Lie by Shakira. She played.
Well, she really came out with everything.
Yeah, it's just all kinds of stuff. Ricky Martin, Maria.
Really?
Yeah, she did a cover of Ricky Martin as well. Like it was just sick. So it was back to back to back. So first it was Tiesto, the 2 songs or whatever, just turning up. Then it was that, and then she ended up with Tusa, of course, a billion plays ever. She felt like a headliner type of performance. Like she could come back in like a few years and be a headliner. She has that presence, bro. Like the stage presence, and her music's gonna keep growing over the next few years when she drops new music. So
she probably could have even headlined this year, arguably. Like I think she would have done a killer job.
Yeah, I don't know how big her crowd was. Looking back, I mean, I couldn't see that type of performance where the whole crowd's into it, kind of like with Swedish House Mafia and The Weeknd. I think that's what like the headliner should be, Billie Eilish, but a lot of people weren't into her songs. Like so many people are leaving or going to Sahara or going to somewhere else, and like I feel like you need like a Beyonce where you like, oh, I gotta go see it. Like I can't skip the main headliner. And a lot of people this year, a certain demographic didn't. I don't know if they're just hating because they don't even want to give it a chance. Like, oh, Billie Eilish, that's not for me. It's demonic or whatever. But her style of music is not like a vibey type of music. I feel like you need.
It's definitely niche. It's a niche market genre. I personally have never like really listened to her music other than like the popular stuff that she's released and has circulated. Same thing with Harry Styles. But this year I made an effort to be there for Harry Styles and Billie Eilish because I was like, you know what? If they're headliners for a reason. They got to have some sort of appeal. And even though it's not at the kind of mass appeal banger level that like The Weeknd would be or Swedish House Mafia, they're there for a reason. And they probably, have done their work and impact on the music. So why not listen to them?
I mean, they have diehard fans and stuff.
Yeah.
I checked out, Harry Styles I did. Billie Eilish I only checked out like maybe like 20 minutes of her set because I went to see 21 Savage at the Sahara. So
oh, yeah, you told me.
I ended up leaving her. I missed that. I didn't even know Gorillaz came out with Billie Eilish.
Bro, it was really good. All of a sudden, I heard the good. I was like, what? How are you? They're playing Gorillaz. I was like, having flashbacks to like when they came 2007 2008 when like Daft Punk was here.
They came in 2010.
10.
I actually went to that performance. We snuck into Coachella 2010. I've told you we went with like my brother and my cousin because before you could actually park at Coachella without having to show your bracelet. Like now you have like you're in the car, they're always checking your stuff. Back then you couldn't. So there was like Mexican foods like picking up trash at the parking lot, and they're like primo, and fucking $50, and then he had like bracelets with them.
Right.
He walked us in, boom. Shout out to the primo.
Shout out to the primo.
So yeah, we got to see, and I got to see Phoenix, and then I got to see Gorillaz.
Oh, Phoenix is
Gorillaz
good.
on Sunday. They were playing on Melancholy Hill and like Stillo and all that stuff from that era. Dun, dun.
And they have was it those other songs? Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, the classics like Kids with Guns. Clint Eastwood, Feel Good Inc., El Mañana, which is like one of my favorite songs from there.
Really was. It was good. Really good alternative rock.
So going back to the 3 headliners is Fuerza Regida, Karol G. I want to say Swedish House.
Fuerza Regida?
Fuerza Regida.
Grupo Firme?
Grupo Firme. Fuerza Regida is coming next year.
Shit, I missed the wrong performance. Karol G, Grupo Firme, and so you're debating between Swedish House and The Weeknd and who else?
Big Sean.
Big Sean was a really good one.
I had so much fun at Big Sean. When a hip hop show, I haven't felt like that since a Kanye. Like watching Kanye perform where everybody knows every single song. That's what it is with like Drake or Kanye or these type of artists. Not even Kendrick. Kendrick he raps too fast and is too intellectual. I don't know. I feel like his music doesn't have like these like club bangers like that. When he performed as a headliner, there was a few songs where he's just going hard, but the crowd doesn't know him. Like Big Sean, like it's nothing intellectual. It's like ass, you know? It just gets the crowd going. It gets the people going. I was surprised how good Big Sean was, bro. And then just hearing the echoes of everybody singing on the Sahara because it's like a half dome. It was just like, I don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like, that shit was bad.
On that one, on Click, and on, what was that song? Mercy, yeah.
Mercy, Big Bang, Take Lil Bang. OYG came out as well. Jhené
Aiko came out.
Kanye maybe this weekend making a statement performance there.
Yeah, because they always switch it up on weekend too. So they like whoever they didn't bring first weekend, there's like everyone kind of changes up. You know who they bring.
What
out.
was the splash surprise guest this weekend? I guess Gorillaz. Oh, yeah. Justin Bieber came out with Daniel Caesar, something like that, right?
Yeah, I think Snoop Dogg had come out with Anita. Whoa. There was some surprise guests at like the Dulab. I think Diplo ended up doing a set at the Dulab, but we had seen him during the Anita set. He was there for a good portion.
Oh, I forgot. Diplo was there. Yeah, he was there with like the last 20 minutes of Anita, and then she was just. It felt like, you know, like at the carnival, everyone just dancing, like cool vibes. Anita going crazy with her dancers. Like, she really surprised me. I wish we would have seen her full set because we started early watching City Girls. Speaking of the most disappointing sets of the weekend, we got to start with City Girls at the Sahara 10 on Friday.
I was anticipating like probably one of the craziest, just wilding out shows. I was expecting what we got from Big Sean out of like the City Girls performance, but I don't know. I mean, you tell me. I felt like the singing just wasn't on point. I felt that they weren't in sync with like the beat. It almost sounded like screaming at some points. It didn't even sound like there was
the production, the microphones, or some kind of. Yeah, I don't know. There was something off. Maybe they'll fix it for weekend too, because I know they have a lot of club bangers. Yeah, like that kind of music. I'm saying, like, it's not gonna win you an award.
No, but it definitely gets you hype, and it gets you dancing and moving, and that's what it was. I expected, but then it just didn't sit right. It was probably one of the most lackluster performances of the first weekend for sure.
Ari Lennox was late too, like 20, 30 minutes late, so she didn't do a full set. And did you see Danny Elfman?
I didn't see Danny Elfman, but then my stepdad told me that he's a gentleman from, I don't know if he works with or is part of Oingo Boingo, and they're a really big rock band too from I think like the 80s. So he told me about his set, that it was good.
Oh, I got to see him. I guess like a Hollywood producer, composer. He's done a lot of Tim Burton movies. So he actually had the theme song for the Spider-Man 2001.
Oh, and that's the visuals that you were showing me.
So they play Spider-Man. He also did the 1990s Batman animated series intro.
And so he's all over the place.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, that's another Tim Burton one.
Yeah, he did like a song of that. He did the Simpsons theme song, bro. They play that shit.
Simpsons.
They played the whole thing with an orchestra. Like, that shit was sick.
That's cool. I like that they've kept that theme throughout. They always bring like some big composer. Like, when did they bring out Hans Zimmer last time?
Yeah, 2017 was Hans Zimmer, Danny Elfman. So that means the GOAT.
Coachella, if you're hearing us right now, 2023, we got to see who? Howard Shore. There's also John Williams. John Williams too.
John Williams is another one that could come. I mean, I would love to see either one, but I want to see Howard Shore because, you know, Lord of the Rings.
The experience of all time for sure.
Was it like 2012 or 13? They announced that they were making a tour where they were playing the movies, but like with the live orchestra.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about it because it was going to be like somewhere up in San Jose or in like the Bay Area. And then just we didn't plan for it right. And it was just...
I mean, we were like 20 years old, broke, college kids. But yeah, I want to see something like that, bro. I guess diverse, like flavors of like all kinds of different styles of music. It was crazy. I think this is the most music I've ever consumed at Coachella.
Oh, like as far as different genres?
Well, not just different genres, just watching the most amount of sets. And also from different genres, different countries, and all kinds of shit.
Well, we definitely made it worth it. I mean, we had to get there, and then we knew we weren't going to come out until, you know, the performances were done because, you know, the camping situation kind of fell through.
The Friday was like a 12-hour day. We started off early. Giselle Wundanara was at the Sonora. That day was like perfect weather, bro.
That was the most ideal day.
It ended perfect. There was like nothing. And then Saturday was like the one that had the worst weather with like crazy wind and
it was super freezing. Dusty.
Sunday, the weather on Sunday was extremely hot and dry. I did not prepare for that heat. Like that shit, it kind of ruined half my Sunday because we got there early for Banda Mese. Just to walk into the festival. By the time we were like there trying to dance or whatever, once we left, I needed to go indoors, take a break, get some.
I remember you told me you and Alex went into like the Arctic Dome to cool off.
We went to the Absolute, and then from the Absolute, we went to, at the Sahara, we were going to watch Vince Staples. We started his set. We were watching him, but we were just too hot, bro. Like, we were still feeling it. So we're like, let's go to the Dulab. I know right now they got the soakers, so we went in there, got a little bit of the mist and the water. That's where we smelled the food.
La carne asada.
Yeah, we cooled off from there, and then we made our way to Carol G after. So
the third day was also the day I think we had the longest lines, too. You were pointing it out that I think on Sundays, typically it's the longest to get in.
Yeah, Sunday's the most people because for some reason people can't make it like Friday or they might not make it Saturday, but they always make it for Sunday. Like something always comes up.
Interesting.
Or usually it's like the FOMO. You're already at the festival. this is the last day. Like, I got a party, so you're there early, you know, and
makes sense.
You want to get your money's worth. Coachella definitely is getting your money's worth.
Yeah, you got to see all those artists.
I saw a lot of people complain, and I noticed on Sunday that there wasn't enough water, either refill stations or water being sold. I remember Coachella back in the day, like in the main stage in the field, there was always like water stands. Do you remember that? Like people sell, they have like water bottle stands and Red Bulls,
they would.
And they don't no longer have that, so like people were just like scrambling to get something to drink, and especially when it's 100 and whatever. We couldn't get water until I finessed a couple security guards.
I remember you told me that.
So after the Swedish House Mafia, like we were thirsty, bro. We had not drank water in like almost 2 hours, and then we're like, damn, everything's closed. And then I saw 2 security guards by the like VIP. I walked up to them and I was like, hey, what's up? How do you guys? They were like young kids. So I was like, how was Coachella for you guys? Oh, it was dope. This and that. I was just talking to them. Where are you guys from? Oh, we're San Diego. You know, we're here to work or whatever. And they're like, yeah, we're getting ready for week 2. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And I started walking away. It's like, oh, do you guys happen to have any water? I mean, like, I know all the workers always have water. Like, that's like a thing. So, and previous Coachellas, what I've done is like those people that are guarding the speakers or certain workers, like security guards, they always have cases of water, and they've given me water before. So I knew they had some. And then these was like, oh, you guys want one? And we ended up getting 2 water bottles. So we ended up getting water after everything was closed. What was the thing you missed most about Coachella since we didn't have it for 3 years?
Joy that you get from like being in the crowd and seeing other people react the same way to like the artists you're watching, and basically enjoying a set together with that audience. I think that's the best part. For me, I'm not usually on my phone like recording stuff, just because I'll try to get like snippets here and there or a photo or whatever, just to remember the set and what it felt like. But for me, I really just enjoy being present in the moment and going to see some of your favorite artists perform and seeing someone else like screaming their lungs out just like you is the best for me.
Like the Big Sean moment where like the people around us were just rapping, like because we knew every song. It was me, you, and Alex, and like 2 other people, like some girls that were around us, and we were like we were just like in a little circle, just dancing and singing, rapping every single song. So even the little things like at the Absolute tent where we're in there just like vibing and other people are vibing, and then just like, you know,
that was definitely enjoyable, especially because I'd never been there, and I think you said it was a new attraction. Alex had pointed it out. Kudos to her. She was freaking 3 for 3 over the weekend. And
what was like some of the sets that you wish you could have seen that you kind of didn't get to see weekend 1?
I think I would say the Karol G one. I did catch the end of it, but because I was watching Duck Sauce with a different group with Blake and Bailey and them. It was cool. It was good. I had seen A-Track before. He's been at Coachella before.
Yeah.
And I think this might have been the first time, I could be wrong, this might have been the first time that Duck Sauce, like as a group, was actually there as a set, instead of like it being A-Track and then, you know, bringing on Armin Van Helden, his
Duck
partner.
Sauce was at Coachella.
Right? They've been here before.
13 or 14. I remember it because they gave out those little quack, like mouthpieces. Yeah. And then everyone was walking around with the quack Mac. It was 2014.
They were there, right? Because I remember I have photos of it.
And then
Karol G's a definitely worthwhile performance, but I feel like you can get to see Duck Sauce like at any big EDM festival that'll be here in SoCal. Yeah. I think there'll be more opportunities because they're definitely a consistent presence in that music scene.
I'm never gonna see Harry Styles ever. You know, I'm never gonna get a chance to see that. Anita, like, I don't know if she ever tours in the U.S. The Who,
the Who, man,
the Who.
That one was actually the most surprising because you told me the night before when we were gonna do the first podcast that never got recorded, right? The Who was gonna play, and I was like, "Who's that?" And you showed me on the screen the music, so that was actually pretty cool. That was a good set. I'm sad I had to leave early for that one.
I don't know a lot of the artists in the lineup. Like, I know the big names. I'm not too diverse out there where like I know all these. I'm like, who do you guys recommend? And then I got a bunch of Anitas. People were commenting the Who, Nicki Nicole, Stromae got a lot, and then Stromae was one of my favorite sets of the weekend. So I forgot about Stromae. So
he's like maybe tied up there for any third spot, or maybe just like right outside the top 3.
It's in my top 5. So my top 5, the first ones that I said, and then you throw in The Weeknd and you throw in Stromae. Like, I had so much fun. I ended up missing Megan Thee Stallion. That's one I wish I could have seen.
That was a good set
because it was at the same time. So I had to go. It was the same thing as like I could probably watch Megan Thee Stallion at like Rolling Loud or one of these other hip hop festivals. But I'm like, Stromae, I guess he only tours in the U.S. like every 5-6 years because he's from Belgium. So he does a lot of European tours. So I'm like, I'm probably never going to see him. And I saw his performance. It was just incredible. His music's dope. So it started 30 minutes after Megan. So we're just sitting there while they're setting up, and I was actually in the front. So you're just hearing like the main stage go crazy, like the crowd cheering. Like you couldn't hear the songs, but you could hear like shit's popping at the main stage, and I was like, "Fuck, did I like fuck up by being here and not watching
Megan?" I feel like you made the right choice.
And then boom, like once it was going, like it was going, and I was surrounded a bunch of French speaking people. Those people with like French flags and all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of sets that, of course, we can't catch everything. There's so much music going on at the same time. I wish I could have seen Arcade Fire. I heard their set was sick.
Yeah, I remember you pointed that out at some point, like Arcade Fire all of a sudden at Coachella.
You know, I feel like they could have been at the outdoor like a 9 p.m. You know, like almost sub headliner type of deal, and they just literally put them at 6 p.m. on one of the smaller stages.
Was it like the Mojave?
Yeah, it was one of those, the Mojave or the Gobi, bro, like a small stage. Who do you want to see Coachella 2023? The sale goes in June, so it's in a couple months. We'll get the pre-sale without knowing who's going to be playing, except Frank Ocean. He's the only one that's on the lineup for 2023.
He's guaranteed, right?
He's guaranteed, but I mean, that fool always drops out. Who do you want to see that hasn't been to Coachella or anybody else that you've seen in the past? You're like, you know what? It's been a few years since they came.
Maná and Carlos Santana together. For a performance, I think that would be really cool. Having Howard Shore, again, another different type of music scene because orchestral.
Yeah.
And then I think as far as in hip hop, it would be Eminem's been here before, right?
Eminem?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the same year as Beyonce, 2015.
Oh, you're right. You're
2018,
right.
2018.
Some sort of reunion of like a TDE or like a good music style big group thing. That'd be kind of exciting to see. What about you?
Some Daft Punk reunion at Coachella. I know they just broke up.
But hopefully they're like some toxic exes and they get back together soon.
I want to see J. Cole. He's never been to Coachella, not even as a guest. I want to see Drake come back.
Yeah?
Drake would be fucking massive. He's like the biggest hip-hop. Bad Bunny, too.
Bad Bunny was good when we saw him. I think it was 2018 or 2019 we saw him.
But Drake hasn't been here since 2015. And I remember that performance was kind of like whatever. A lot of people complain. The Madonna thing was just awkward. Yeah. I definitely want to see like Steve Aoki. I think that fool hasn't been to Coachella in so long, or I don't know if he's ever been to Coachella. One of my favorite. Like I want to see David Guetta at Coachella. Rihanna, bro. Right. Rihanna's never played Coachella either. I know she's just about to have a kid or whatever.
So that's rolling out 2023.
Hey, she's gonna come out. She's starting this new trend where like girls are walking around with their bellies out. She's just because she's pregnant, she's not gonna wear like maternity clothes. Like she's still gonna wear whatever. So a lot of girls at Coachella. I don't know if you saw a bunch of pregnant chicks walking around with like their bellies out. That was pretty cool.
I don't think I did, but I wouldn't be surprised. That's like the thing now.
A bunch of people with their children, bro, like 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds.
I did see that.
Service dog. They had a service dog for some reason.
Well, and then I think we forget that Coachella is always open to, all ages, and not everyone's kind of like us where we're going to, go ham for the whole session and, do certain things. I'm sure like as people that get older, you're probably going to do different things. You're probably going to like turn it down to like a 3. Go to art installations, keep cool with your kids at the, various, like the Doolab, the Arctic Dome, things like that. Take it in a different gear, It's probably much more slower paced than when we go ham.
I mean, you've been to the last 10 Coachellas, so how would you rank Coachella 2022?
I remember 2012 was one of my most memorable ones because 2012 was a phenomenal year. Dre was there, Swedish House. I think Alesso was there that year. David Guetta. The Weeknd was doing his first performance that year. So that was a very memorable one. And then I think there might have been a really, really good one somewhere between like the 2015 to 2019 range. And then 2022 was really fun just because I think I experienced it in a different overall, like as far as like finances. Like I didn't go there kind of stressing about money or kind of what to do or how to budget stuff. I was, have a little bit more lavish times,
You do see things differently. I remember back then I was like, I got to be in the front of the stage and go crazy. And there's so many good ones. So 2011 was one of my favorites. 2012. I really like 2018, 2019. But I think, this one also top 3. Because I don't know. It was just so much good vibes. The music was amazing because it just happened like recency bias or because we had 3 years with Coachella. It kind of like, oh man, I was missing this. 2011 is one of my favorites just with Arcade Fire on Saturday. That one we had Kings of Leon on Friday. And then Saturday we had Arcade Fire where they dropped the balloons. Like that was...
Which year was that?
2011.
2011.
And then Sunday was Kanye. 2012 was A$AP Rocky and Childish Gambino. They were there like a small artist. Swedish House and The Weeknd. And just looking back. It's also when you look back at Coachella lineups, is like they age so well because the artists get so famous. That's why I hate when people are like, oh, when you look at old lineups, like, oh, that lineup is way better than this year because you have all these legends. But I'm like, that's not how it works. You know, like at that time they were coming up. It's like watching Baby Keem or Vince Staples, you know, these smaller acts now versus what they're going to be in 10 years. You know, of course, their careers are going to be bigger. Karol G or whatever.
Yeah, they do a good job of like bringing some of the artists that are going to be big and that have already shown talent and promise, and then those that have already made their mark on the music industry over many years that have been consistent. So when we leave and stop this podcast, I feel like I'm going to be driving home and like, oh, shoot, I forgot to mention, like, I think this artist might be there next year or so-and-so, you know? You always like...
Yeah.
It'll
Hopefully,
come.
maybe Travis Scott, Frank Ocean are back on the lineup.
Yeah.
I want to see Travis Scott, bro. He would imagine closing out. No, he would have been on Saturday. Sunday. Calvin Harris and Rage Against the Machine on Sunday, bro. That would have been sick. The 2020, that never happened. It'll be fun. So if you're thinking about going to Coachella, you buy tickets, bro. Like, it's worth it every single time. I get it. Like, you might not know everybody on the lineup, and that's why it gives you enough time. You have like 4 months from the lineup dropping, so you could like discover new artists. And that's what I did this year. It's the first year that I actually took it really serious, just checking out different artists, and I ended up watching their sets at Coachella and having so much fun.
And even if you don't get the time to study, I honestly, there was a couple times when I joined Bailey and Blake and spent some time with them. And I literally was like, I don't care who we go see. Like, usually Bailey has some really good music recommendations. And we went to go see Fred again. And I had a really good time. I saw that. I saw Japanese Breakfast. I saw some artists I'd never heard of before. I didn't know any of the words, but you can still dance and you can still enjoy yourself. And I think when you also enjoy it with your friends, you get some of whatever they feel rubbed off on you.
Yeah, and just go with an open mind. Like, just go to the Do Lab and have fun, whoever's playing. Like, there'll be a DJ in there. Or we couldn't go in the Yuma because there was a crazy lines this year. But it's not just the artists, you know. Like, that's the whole point of a festival like this, to just discover, check out new stuff. So
I was surprised that Alex felt that way when we went to that surprise at the Do Lab. And that guy was playing like a combination of like glitch and dubstep. And do you remember? That was I think on Friday. We were going to go see the Martinez brothers afterward, but then that fell through because that was a long line.
Yeah, we couldn't get into Martinez brothers. I don't know who was playing at the Do. Like, also, he said maybe Odessa might show up. And then it was just like crazy dubstep. We were just having the best time.
Yeah, it was good. It was different. And it's like those moments right there. You just open, you go, and you enjoy the music.
Or like hanging out at the beer garden and there's like somebody on the main stage that you're just hanging out, you know, like cooling down, but you're listening to some like cool music. Even like Harry Styles, like listening to him, like he has some cool songs. He brought out this like country star, I forgot her name.
Oh, Miss Twain, right?
Mariah Twain or something like that.
Starts with an S, I think. I forgot what her name is. I should know her name.
Well, Vanessa Franco, she covers the festival for like this magazine. I follow her on Twitter. I was on her podcast, the Can't Feel the Heat podcast. She said that she's the first performer to be on the main stage at both Stagecoach and Coachella.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. You showed me that message. That's exciting. You rarely see kind of a crossover like that from Stagecoach and Coachella, you know, and unexpected collaborations. And that makes it great, you know, because then you weave in and out of musical genres like very seamlessly.
Okay, Brian, before we take off, are you going to go to Coachella weekend too?
Unfortunately not. I got a gig I got a DJ for in San Diego this weekend, but I know you're going to go, and I hope that you get to enjoy it in the same sense that we did this weekend, maybe without certain things, but
I'm going to take it slow this week. I don't think I'm going to go as hard.
Intensity that we did it. But hey, who knows? I mean, check it out. Maybe you do some cool interviews with some artists backstage, or you bump into someone that you weren't expecting, you know. It's Coachella, so I feel like they surprises left and right.
You know, I'm excited. I just don't think I'm going to go as hard. You know, I'm going to take it more chill. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. See you guys at Coachella. Buy tickets for Coachella. June. Pre-sale for 2023. It's going to be worth it. Trust.